So could you tell us the role of news channels in the so-called red corridor, the way they cover in the debates and other things?
See, when you look back at the role of the media, first kidnap was of 7 IAS officers in Andhra Pradesh. Of course, electronic channels were not there, with the present scale, and there are some channels, particularly All India Radio, Doordarshan, they were still very important. At that point of time, the media tried to build a public opinion that IAS officer must be released. There is a public opinion, and the media also contributed to that public opinion, built an opinion that the state, in a way, had to take quick action, and the matter was over within 3-4 days, and IAS officer came out. Another major kidnap was in 1993, in Koyur, where I also went to negotiate along with Kannada. There we found media started playing terrible mischief. They were giving misinformation. They were distorting the information, and they were not publishing what we were saying in the press conferences. And sensationalization of news became, by 93, a part of the media culture. Now I'll give you 2 instances. One instance was, we never thought that it would take 20-21 days. We thought the problem would be solved in a week's time. We didn't go with much of preparation. So we went to buy some local shop, some clothes for us. So they have taken photographs and put next day. Civil liberties leaders are trying to go into forest incognito, and they are for that they are buying the clothes and all that in a front page, in a box they have put the whole thing. And the Koyur is a very poor tribal area, a poor area. So there was a small hut, we were having a cup of tea myself. They have taken photographs, poor civil liberties leaders, in a hut. There's nothing new that what is there. But more than that, when we went inside and negotiated with the squad that they will not harm, and we wanted no loss of human life, and we came out, and the leaders and the People's War demanded that the police force should be withdrawn 5 kilometers from the hillock where hostages were kept. We came, and that IG was a little adamant and all that, but finally he agreed that he will withdraw the forces up to a point. We held a press conference, and we told in the press conference that we should build now a public confidence, and problem is almost getting resolved. Both the sides are in a mood of give and take, and it's moving in the direction of some peaceful resolution to the problem. This is what we have told. And we requested the media to build public confidence, so that there is a public pressure also on both the sides. Next day, headlines, front page: commandos arriving from Delhi. Hillock may be bombarded at any time. Life of civil liberties leaders in danger. We were really taken aback. Where from this news has come? We are the people who are involved in the negotiation. We are the local reporter. Local report says that we have reported whatever you have said. But what happened in the desk, we don't know. Who changed the news? Where from this news came, we don't know. But to see either it is a sensationalization, or somewhere some police sources said, come on, give this information, or what happened even today is a mystery to me, that why the news information was so twisted. And then we took very serious objection. Then of course some central government instruction came, at least Doordarshan and All India Radio will not broadcast or telecast any news without both of us looking into the news. So in the 6 o'clock bulletin in the evening, 5:40, 5:50 they used to get the bulletin. If you said this can be broadcast, then they used to announce in the news. Because government had, we said that no, this is the way that if the media act, then public confidence will be lost. And the problem cannot be solved. And the only channel of communication to the, Naxal, people is the radio. There is no other channel of communication. There is some wrong information is given. If they go by that information, the whole thing, collapses. So that was in '93. Anyway, there was a lot of debate, and whether kidnap is the right method of resistance, whether abduction is something which the Maoist party should reconsider. And in '93, by and large, they decided that perhaps this method may not be right method. Although they say that that option they kept open, but almost from '93 there were no incidents of kidnapping. Now between '93 and 2010 or 2011, the major change that has taken place in the media, thanks to the globalization, so many channels have come. National channels, local channels, regional languages, hundreds of channels now. No comparison between 1993, no nothing. I'm of 1987. But today, the information, the way telecast and the way they bombard the society with the type of information. Now I think they are not even allowing people to think. See, I think you are suffocated, because the way they, they structure the news is something which we should be worried about. My feeling is it's not merely anything to do with the mere Maoist politics, but the media, if it is shaping the public opinion, and if we have to really go by what is the role of the fourth estate, how is the pillar of democracy, how it gives the information to the people, is the level of political or the general consciousness, I think we are thoroughly mistaken. We have a media which is completely orchestrated, and the information is completely tailored in such a way that the public opinion has to be opinion of the media. It's not that they telecast the public opinion, but I think what they do is that they pass on the information that they think is information to the people. And since people do not have alternative channels of communication, normally they are carried away by the information. Not many viewers of the electronic channels have a critical eye. And of sorting of the news, or reading between the lines, or critically asking the question. Our audience, our viewers are not used to that type of thing. We are just surrendered to the information that the media gives instead of interrogating the information. Unless society develops that critical eye, it is very likely that whatever media thinks, society start thinking. So in the process, 1993, they have created, but 2011. See, the Orissa government was a little, soft, or, at least it was responding. But the media went on and on, giving whatever information they wanted to give. We were not the source of information, nor they were cross-checking, and they were, giving whatever information they thought interested them. But the another very, interesting incident that happened, when I'm just telling you what the character of the media. We negotiated with the Maoist party, and we said that release the collector within 2 days. I said 1 day, but the party said, given the logistics, we are 800 kilometers away, the track is very difficult, 24 hours is not possible. At least give us 48 hours minimum. So they said that if you are addressing the press conference, say 48 hours. When we give a call that please within 2 days, so we said 48 hours after quite a bit of bargaining or whatever, argumentation. 7 o'clock we held the press conference and said that within 48 hours collector will be released. This is what we told. 7:50, one of the English channels said collector has been released, he reached home. Now, once this channel said, other channels to catch up, and they thought that this fellow has stolen the march, and the TRP has gone up, and so they were worried, and one after the other they started telecasting that collector has been released, he reached home. One Oriya channel started saying he has been released, not reached home, but now he is having his food, and he is now gradually moving, walking, live. They were putting it as a live telecast. Telugu media got it by 7:20, and all Telugu channels, they started saying collector has been released. Hindu, next day morning, front page, they said collector has been released. Now, for us, since we discussed with the Maoist party, and they said within 24 hours it is not possible. They said 48 hours, and we were bombarded by this information, and everybody started saying collector has come home. So somehow my own either my intuition or my authentic information, I went on telling the media 48 hours means 48 hours, not less than 48 hours. I am still sticking to my information, 48 hours. Collector has not been released, no question, because I am the only source of information, because I argued with them, right? Nobody gave that information. BBC comes, wakes me up 1:30 night, they say, sir, we have authentic information that collector has been released. I said, I don't know, look at you, but as far as I am concerned, 48 hours. Next day morning, collector has not been released, and these fellows didn't know what to do, so some of them started seeking an apology of the, they were apologizing to the viewers, and then they were after me saying that, Prof. Haragopal, what is happening in the field, you are in the field, we got this information, and what is the real situation, and I went on asking them that why have messed it up? When we said 2 days, who asked you to give the information that collector has been released? And where from you got that information? What is source of information? Nothing. See, just they created a news. One channel created the news just by guessing that could be, once we said that 48 hours, they must have thought that this 48 hours is just, something which we are misleading. But collector has, somebody guessed or speculated, whatever we may. And the other channels at least could have checked with us. That some channels say they have used it true. No. They went one after the other. They thought in the rating, they will fall. And all the channels of the country, including the BBC, committed this blunder. Now, how do you understand this media? No, in other words, they are not interested in the facts, they are not interested in cross-checking the information, they are not depending on the information which is the, the real source of the information. If this happened in this kidnap, one can imagine how much of wrong information these people must be giving every day. Now, in the Chhattisgarh, we were not watching the media and all that, but we were not giving much of information, because now we know that if you, so we normally avoided the media. But what all that they have done is that when we went to the forest, we had to go 6 kilometers from the helipad, and then media people gave us a lift. That was only the information they got, and that's what they went on showing, that how we have gone, and they came up to a point where we entered the forest, except that information. And I understand what they were telecasting was that this is the place, 73 CRPF constables have been killed, and this is the exact spot from where they are entering on. I just don't know whether that was the spot or not. I don't think that we entered. They really, that happened in Dantewada. This was, different. That happened in a totally different area. But anyway, they were trying to match these two information, and they said that we have entered the forest. So we came back. Of course, they were after us, but we were continuously avoiding the media. Now, when second time, when we went, there was a delay about 5-6 hours we were to come, let's say, by 12 o'clock, we came 4 o'clock. Maybe there is a delay of, the delay was partly because, when they released the collector, their, logistics are that they have to go to their own safer place. So that's why it takes time. So we also waited, and then collector was handed over and we brought it. That night we had to be in CRPF camp. Only collector came, and collector was very reluctant to talk. But then, what they did, that, we held next day the press conference. The first question, neither they compliment you, nor they say that problem has been very peacefully resolved without loss of human life. As promised, the mediators have brought the, collective. You can say a number of ways, how the problem has been solved through negotiation. Instead, first question they have asked us is how much of money changed hands, and what is the secret deal. And they started putting all news that secret deal, and the information spread was that first we carried 50 crores to the forest. They were not happy. Second time we carried another 50 crores, and even then they were not happy. Therefore the delay. And instead of coming, they came late evening, because the negotiations. They thought that we went and we were bargaining with the party, somehow accept this man. Now this is the way that. That was the time when we had to tell the media that you represent corporate interest, you are profit making, you are not interested in the realities, and you fellows think that there is a secret deal and money changes the hands. And do you know that who is B.D. Sharma? And what an integrity he upheld in life. He took 1 rupee salary when he was the chairman of the SC Commission for 5 years. And then they are asking, when I said that you do know who is B.D. Sharma, how many times he visited Bastar? I just want to understand who are these fellows to answer whether B.D. Sharma went to Bastar or not. And I said B.D. Sharma is the, man of integrity. I teach in a university. We don't need to come, to Chhattisgarh to take money. But what I am saying is that how they subvert a democratic, peaceful, a method of negotiations in resolving a conflict, instead of building that it is possible to negotiate. That's what I would expect a democratic media to say to the rest of the country, that here is a situation where the mediators coming from, one is a bureaucrat, farmer bureaucrat, a teacher, negotiated, and peacefully problem has been resolved. And if you, if you like, they can as well say, now we hope that Chhattisgarh state will respond to some of the demands. Innocent tribals are languishing in the prison. That is the demand. They could have said that, so that there would have been a public pressure on behalf of the innocent tribals of Chhattisgarh. You could have as well said that the peaceful methods still are possible. Negotiation as a method, is still available. Nothing. Except saying that money changes the hand, secret deal between the Maoists and the government of Chhattisgarh, and that means the whole system is corrupt. System anyway is degenerated, mainstream, and they think that these people are also vulnerable, and people like us are doing this type of job of carrying the money. See what a cynical press it is. See, I would say that this is complete cynicism. Now this cynicism on the part of the media will push the system into more authoritarian fascist governance. That is my worry. So media role today is to promote information which may lead more an authoritarian semi-fascist state than a truly democratic, participatory, dialogue-oriented, argumentative-oriented, system. That is what I, understand from the role of the media, from my own personal experience, I am saying.